$8.5 million. That number measures more than the final year of a contract. It measures how far the Patriots are willing to go for loyalty, security, and growth at the same time. Some people look at Foxborough and see roster battles. I see 4 confrontations that could force Mike Vrabel into some ruthless decisions. A beloved veteran is racing the clock. A speedy rookie just crashed a crowded room. An entire unit wants to silence its critics. And a receiver once treated like trade bait is answering on the field. No soft talk today. If you demand that same standard, subscribe and get in this fight with me. Hunter Henry does not have to pretend this is just another training camp. Jesus finally signed his rookie contract. Christian Gonzalez could be the next star in line for a massive extension. Meanwhile, the tight end who became Drake May's security blanket has officially entered the final year of his own deal. Henry is 32 years old, scheduled to make $8.5 million in 2026, and fully aware of what is at stake. Asked about a possible extension, he did not negotiate through the media. He talked about how much he has grown in New England, acknowledged what this place means to him, and turned his attention back to the season. I respect that, but I will not soften the reality. Affection does not reserve a roster spot, and a great story will not stop a team in a Super Bowl window from choosing its future. Henry is entering his 6th season as the Patriots' top tight end, and he should still carry a major role in this rebuilt offense. The question is how long that hierarchy stays intact. His pairing with Austin Hooper exposed problems in pass protection and the running game last season. New England pursued Julian Hill for his toughness and inline blocking, hoping he could help correct those issues. Then a spring injury during voluntary workouts ended Hill's season. Suddenly, the youth movement became less comfortable and much more urgent. That is where Eli Raridon stops being merely an interesting third-round pick. The Notre Dame rookie worked behind Henry during the opening practice of camp, and according to Mike Reese, made a strong catch on a deep corner route. Henry watched his progress throughout the spring and said the kid's ceiling is high. That is real leadership. A veteran helping prepare the player who could directly change the calculation on his next contract. The Patriots cannot handle this situation with blind sentiment or reckless coldness. If Henry accepts a short, team-friendly deal resembling Zach Ertz's recent contracts in Washington, the latest worth just over $6 million for 1 year, keeping that trusted target for May would make tremendous sense. The quarterback would retain continuity. Raridon could develop without carrying too much responsibility too soon. The offense would keep a respected voice in the room. Raridon still has the power to rip up that script. If he blocks with authority, stacks strong practices, and turns those catches into a pattern, New England could decide the transition has already begun. Henry still has enough football left to help fuel a serious run, but a Patriots jersey cannot be awarded as a lifetime achievement honor. Camp will decide whether the best move is keeping mentor and successor together for another season or passing the torch before emotion becomes more expensive than production. Kobe Prentice reached Foxborough through the NFL's most unforgiving route. Carolina waived him, and the Patriots claimed him in the middle of training camp. No red carpet. There are 12 receivers in this room, and every rep will be a fight for survival. Perfect. A player who runs the 40 in 4.39 seconds does not need a ceremony. He needs one clean opportunity to make the coaches look twice. The undrafted rookie signed with the Panthers in May after spending 3 seasons at Alabama and finishing his college career at Baylor in 2025. Across 38 games, he totaled 86 receptions, 1,160 yards, and 11 touchdowns. His final season produced 26 catches for 380 yards in 10 games. Those numbers will not kick down an NFL door. His speed might. Prentice can attack vertically up the seam, threaten to rip the roof off a coverage, and create yards after the catch on shallow crossers and perimeter screens. At 5'10" and 184 pounds, he may struggle when a play demands that he fight through contact and win contested catches inside. Along the boundary, though, that acceleration can create exactly the kind of stress a tired defense hates. Look at the line without pretending it is easy. A.J. Brown and Romeo Doubs lead the group. Kayshon Boutte, Mac Hollins, Kyle Williams, Demario Douglas, and Efton Chisholm III already have legitimate cases, while Jeremiah Webb, Kyle Dixon, Nick DeGennaro, and Cameron Dorner are fighting for space too. Prentice's initial odds of making the 53-man roster are slim. Slim is not dead. Mike Vrabel is not building a collection of recognizable names. He is searching for players who force difficult decisions. If Prentice wins outside, turns short throws into explosive gains, and finds a role on special teams, he stops being the 12th receiver and becomes a problem for somebody who felt comfortable. I like this claim because it promises Prentice nothing and demands more from everyone already in the building. A truly competitive camp does not protect resumes. It exposes complacency. Dre'Mont Jones has heard enough of the easy talk about the roster's biggest weakness. To plenty of people, the Patriots' edge group is just a pile of question marks. Mike Vrabel stood behind his players throughout the spring and repeated that confidence at the start of camp. Jones pushed harder. He called the unit underrated and said the world is going to see how good it can be. Heavy statement. Now it has to become pressure on the quarterback. New England paid for that attitude. Jones signed a 3-year, $39.5 million contract on the first day of free agency after posting a career-high 7 sacks. Once Harold Landry III comes off the PUP list, those two should lead the rotation. And I like that pairing. It has strength, versatility, and experience. The concern was never the first name on either side. The concern is what happens when the rotation tightens and an opposing offense keeps changing protections until it finds the weak link. Haku's finally signed his rookie deal and enters this fight alongside Elijah Ponder and Braden Swinson. One of them has to kick the door down, not show flashes, not collect compliments in July. He has to earn meaningful snaps for the moment AFC offenses start attacking protection after protection, hunting for the defender they can exploit. Jones sounds convinced the answer is already in the building. He said Ponder can be the truth, called him a future hell of a player, and told Patriots Nation it found a steal. His description of Swinson hit even harder. He can be a killer in this league. The veteran praised their work, talent, and intelligence, then placed the responsibility exactly where it belongs. Their growth is up to them. That is healthy pressure. It is how a leader supports young players without coddling them. Jones recognizes the tools while stripping away every excuse. Ponder and Swinson have the building blocks to become great. Nobody promised to build the house for them. Through the first 2 non-padded practices, the defensive line has not taken over the party. Jones and Swinson batted down passes, but the front has not been able to impose its full weight yet. That does not bother me. Evaluating an edge rusher without full contact is like asking a boxer to keep his best hand holstered. Kevin Byard is waiting for the change too. He said he expects far more plays from this group once the pads come on. So the time has arrived. Talk about being underrated ends at first contact. Sound off in the Foxborough roll call in the comments. Who is ready to watch this defense answer with controlled violence, discipline, and pressure? I am. Because if Ponder, Swinson, or Jackus jumps a level, the supposed hole on this roster could become the rotation nobody in the AFC calculated. Kayshon Boutte spent the spring listening to the market practically pack his bags for him. The Patriots were pursuing A.J. Brown, trade speculation kept growing, and Boutte's absence from the voluntary program seemed to convince plenty of people that a split was coming. He could have complained. He could have turned uncertainty into a soap opera. He did neither. Boutte reported for mandatory minicamp ready to work. Through the first 2 practices of training camp, he answered in the one way that hurts anyone who had already written him off. Greg Bedard named him the offensive MVP of that stretch. Boutte delivered the play of the day in both sessions. On Sunday, he laid out for another spectacular catch, and once again finished the play without his helmet. One day earlier, he had already attacked the sideline to haul in a deep ball from Drake May. May did not treat the eruption like a surprise. He told reporters it was nothing new and that everyone had already seen it. That response matters because quarterbacks show trust through the target they seek when a window gets tight. Boutte built that connection in 2025. Now he is forcing Josh McDaniels to picture him on the field with Brown, not simply behind him. The numbers remain brutal. Brown and Romeo Doubs sit at the top. Mac Hollins, Kyle Williams, Demario Douglas, and Efton Chisholm bring valuable roles of their own. Boutte is entering the final year of his rookie contract with a non-guaranteed $3.7 million salary through the proven performance escalator. A trade or release before week 1 would return that entire amount to the salary cap, and he offers little help on special teams. Still, cutting one of your best 53 players just to celebrate cap savings would be competitive cowardice. This team is in a Super Bowl window. Vrabel cannot give away real depth because the spreadsheet became uncomfortable. If Boutte keeps producing the best play of practice, the question stops being where he fits. It becomes, which other receiver has to get out of his way? Foxborough entered camp with no room for protected reputations. Henry has to prove his leadership and production still deserve another contract. Prentice is trying to turn speed into survival. Jones put the pride of the entire pass rush on the table. And Boutte answered months of speculation by ripping footballs out of the air. Good. A title contender should practice this way. Uncomfortable, physical, and ruthless toward complacency. The debate stays open because none of these decisions deserves a lazy consensus. Bring your read to the comments, hit like, and subscribe to Patriots Club fans. This community will hold every choice accountable until the final roster, together, loud, and unwilling to accept mediocrity.